Hello, good morning. Good morning, people. Good morning, fabulous people. Good morning, everyone. Well, it's almost afternoon. It's still morning. I'm recording live from the beautiful city of Manassas, Virginia. We're located in the DMV area. That's where my law office is located, and that's where my home office is also located. From Manassas, Virginia. Welcome, everybody. If you happen to watch this live video after we have gone live, very welcome. Welcome to all the people joining us. I'm so glad to have you guys here. Today, I'm spilling some really hot tea. Okay, guys, drop me a comment, show me some love. Let me feel you guys in the house. Let me know I'm not talking to myself into a screen. Drop me a comment, guys. Let me know where you're watching from and how you're doing, and then let's jump into the video. So today we're going to be talking about something exciting. A few weeks ago, something happened with U.S. immigration. So this is what happened. The time former President Trump was a president, he implemented lots and lots of policies that went against or sort of hindered immigrants from either staying here lawfully or from coming into the US. Oh, hello, Priscilla. Good morning. Hope you're good. Welcome. You're very welcome. I'm glad you've joined us. Okay, so when former President Trump came on, there were many policies. Some were huge policies and some were very little or minor policies, but those little or minor policies still had a big impact on the kinds of applications, the kinds of responses that people would get when they filed any type of application. Okay, and one such policy was the policy that the adjudicators or those who had to review people's forms or applications were supposed to reject forms that had blanks. Yes, guys, forms that had blanks were supposed to be rejected. Amazing. We're spilling the tea, U.S. immigration. Join us, guys. You're very welcome if you're just joining us. We're spilling some hot tea this afternoon. So you're very welcome. Show me some love, drop me some comments, and let's interact. That's why I come on live, because I want to interact with you guys. Richard Burton. I'm Richard Burton from Alexandria. How are you doing? Richard, I'm doing great. How are you doing? How is Alexandria, Virginia? Manassas is fine. We're still freezing a little bit, but everything is okay. So yes, guys. So there was the policy to reject, or there was the no blanks policy. And this simply meant that if you were filing any type of U.S. immigration application and you left, so for example, if you were supposed to fill your name and there's the first name, there's a column for, I've just pulled up the I-130. There's a column for the first name, there's a column for the middle name, and there's a column for the last name. And so if, for example, you have just two names and you leave the column for the middle name blank, your application could be rejected. So there was the rejection of, where there were blanks in forms. Okay, so the policy was apparently very quietly implemented by ex-President Donald Trump. This happened late 2019. So if you notice the pattern during the whole of 2020, if there were any types of application that you filed, and if you left even two blank spaces, or there are certain parts of an application that may not apply to you. Sometimes they'll ask you, how many times have you been married? Tell us about your exes, the names of your former spouses or something like that. If you have never been married, you've been married, let's say once, and you're currently still married to your husband, and then you didn't fill out the names of your former spouses because it didn't apply to you, you had to put in N/A, not applicable. If you left it blank, assuming that, oh yeah, I don't have any past spouses or whatever, those are some of the things they were looking at to reject applications. Okay, Welcome everybody to this live video. Welcome. Drop me a comment. If you're watching without dropping me a comment, I won't know that you're on. I only see the people that are on when they drop me comments and show me some love. Okay, so guys, drop me a comment. Let me see that you're watching and enjoying this live video. So yeah, we're just here to talk about this very interesting update in U.S. immigration. This came out a few weeks ago. Well, about a couple of weeks ago. I couldn't do a live video. I'm just catching up on doing some lives concerning certain hot topics in U.S. immigration law that I believe that you guys must know about. So we're spilling all the tea this afternoon here. And so yeah, they simply didn't want you guys to leave. They don't want you guys to leave blanks. And so after filling out your US application form, don't forget, you go through everything, make sure the places which have blanks, you have put in NA, not applicable where things are not applicable to you. But thankfully that policy has been rescinded. It has been cancelled by President Joe Biden. So now we don't have to worry about it. But for the avoidance of doubt, I will still do the NA when it doesn't apply, because you know what, it's easier to just sometimes follow certain rules than to argue the consequences of not following those rules. Hello, Rima. You're very welcome. Thank you so much for joining us and for dropping your comments. Guys, share this video, give me a thumbs up. Give me some Facebook loving in the form of a thumbs up. I'm so happy to be here with you. We're still spilling some tea. All right, so let's talk some more about this blank policy. It had crazy consequences. Oh my goodness. If your form did not have every portion of it filled, unfortunately, you might get a rejection. And also, if your form had any type of spelling error, any little type of mistake, you were getting a rejection or a denial. And guess what, guys? Sometimes, unfortunately, some of these processes that you file with U.S. immigration are very time sensitive. What do I mean by time sensitive? A time sensitive process or a time sensitive application is an application that has to be filed timeously, that has to be filed within a specified time frame. So let's take, for example, an I-751. That's a petition to remove conditions from a green card. Okay. All right, let's see. Solomon, hi, I'm currently in China and want to study in the US. Any suggestion? Thank you for joining us. Hello, Ajualo. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. So we're talking today about policy that has just been rescinded by President Joe Biden. For example, we're talking about the I-751, which is a petition to remove conditions of your green card. As you know, if you are married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder and you have been married for less than 2 years, and then you file your application and the application is approved, a marriage-based green card application that is approved for a foreign national who has been married to his U.S. citizen or green card holder for less than 2 years. If the approval happens and your marriage is less than 2 years, you're going to be given what is known as a conditional green card. However, if your marriage has been, you've been married for more than 2 years to your U.S. citizen spouse or your green card holder spouse, and your application for a marriage-based green card is approved, because you've been married for more than 2 years, you're going to get a permanent green card, and that's a 10-year green card. There's no difference between the rights and privileges of a conditional green card and a permanent green card, the 10-year and the 2-year green card. You have the exact same rights and privileges. You can do everything you can do with either of them. The only difference is that with a conditional green card, you need to file 90 days before the expiration of that conditional green card, the 2-year green card. 90 days before it expires, you need to file an application to remove the conditions from the green card. Okay, so such a process is known as a time-sensitive process, because what happens is that, of course, subject to some exceptions, you should ensure and endeavor and make sure that you file within the 90-day period. Okay, you can explain sometimes you had certain circumstances that made you not that made you unable to file within the time period, and you need to show them and all that. But that's an exception. But the general rule is that you should file within the 90-day time period. Okay. And so what happens is that if you following the no blank or the rejection policy, where your forms would be rejected if you left a blank. Imagine you are filing an I-751, which is the petition to remove conditions, and you've been married to your handsome beau, your handsome man. Maybe you've been married for 1 year. We filed a green card for you, a marriage-based green card. You got your green card. You got a conditional green card, which is 2 years, and now we have to file to remove the conditions. And you decide, okay, I'm going to file this by myself. You have, let's say, 90 days to file, and then you filed it, let's say on the 30th day, and you sent it to the U.S.CIS, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. They realized that your middle name was blank, and let's say the date, let's say information about your parents, you left maybe one parent's name, the middle name of your parents blank, and then also there's maybe another information somewhere where you left blank. They will then reject these forms and send them back to you. By the time they send them back to you, the craziness with all this mailing and the USPS with the snow and the coronavirus. They don't have that many people working with the post office, and so the United States United States Postal Services also sends the form back to you. By the time the form gets back to you, let's say you filed the application on the 30th day. By the time you mailed this and it got to U.S.CIS, you were already, let's say, 40 days. You were 40 days into the 90-day period. And then U.S.CIS will keep it for a while, and then it will go through the normal queue, and then they'll review it. By the time they review it and realize that you left some blanks, it's already, let's say, 80 days into the expiration of your green card. Now you have just 10 days for your 2-year green card to expire. Guys, I'm spilling the hot U.S. immigration tea. So you have just 10 days left for your conditional green card to expire. Okay. By the time the USCIS mails your rejected forms back to you because you left a blank, and you receive it, now your status would have set to have expired, because now your conditional green card is no longer valid, and then you get your the application from the USCIS back for correction. Let's say now you are 5 days after the expiration of your green card, your conditional green card. Now here is the scoop. When you mail, you correct all the errors, and let's say you correct the errors, like you fill out the applications, and then you send it back to the USCIS. By that time, you would have been out of status, and the time frame is no longer good. You are not 90 days within the expiration of your green card. Okay, so that's what could happen. Also, it could also be that because of certain errors or leaving some things blank, your forms could be outrightly denied. And when it's denied, it's a whole nother ball game, guys. Whole nother ball game. So the good news we have, and I have for you this morning, is that policy that President Trump brought, that is the no blank policy, or the rejection of forms that were not entirely filled, has been rescinded by President Joe Biden. So thankfully, now we don't have to worry too much about if they ask you list your 5 children and you have only 1 child, you list the first child, maybe Jane Doe, and then second child, you have to put NA, not applicable. Third child, NA. Fourth child, NA. Their address, NA. The dates they were born, NA, because they don't exist, right? Those people don't exist. So you have to put, you had to put NA in all those portions. That is just exhausting. That is tedious. That is unnecessary. And that is, it's just really taxing, So thankfully, that policy has been rescinded. And this policy was rescinded just a few weeks ago. Well, I would say a couple of weeks ago, February 14th, I think. Guys, we're spilling the hot U.S. immigration law tea. I'm just bringing you this incredibly good news that now the no blanks policy that was instituted and that was implemented by ex-President Trump has been rescinded. Okay. So we have hot erect. What about we that we have not even start processing the green card? I'm not sure I understand your question well. Please come again, be a little clearer. Okay, and then I will be happy to answer. Usama Rushard, Usama. Oh, wow, you're a beautiful woman. Thank you so much, Usama. I really appreciate it. Can you kiss me, please? Oh, yeah. Hello, Rosie Bell Lisa. You're welcome. You're welcome. Does this policy apply to the asylum procedures? Okay, so that's a great question. Let me go back on here. This policy actually, let me tell you that it applies to U visas. U visa is a type of visa where, if you are the victim of a qualifying crime, you could get a visa. So it applies to U visas, and I'm trying to pull the news, the policy update that I have here. I'll try to pull it up, but it's applied to, the truth of the matter is that former President Trump's policy, it wasn't made public because I tried to search in the policy manual and all the resources that I have. I did not see this exact policy, but apparently it was implemented. So I don't know the extent to which this policy was implemented. But I would say yes, because when these policies come, there are really no exceptions. They don't say that, apply this no blank policy only to marriage-based green cards. These are all applications. So I would assume that it did apply, but it doesn't even matter anymore because now the no blank policy has been scraped. You don't have to worry about trying to fill every single line, when you don't have an answer or when it didn't apply to you. It's just quite tedious. Okay, so apparently there are some people that were also affected by this policy, and they're currently in court challenging it because they also had time sensitive processes. And there was somebody that said that she needed a law enforcement document, and then they submitted the application. The no blank policy affected her. They left a couple of places blank, and the packet was rejected. By the time they got to her, the enforcement documents from the police had expired. Because sometimes they'll tell you that certain documents that you are using to support your application have to be, let's say, within the last 3 months for it to be valid. They had to have been issued. They had to have been issued within the last 3 months. So those are some of the things that people are challenging in court. And apparently the policy led to thousands of rejections of, otherwise qualified migrants applying for asylum or for a U visa. So asylum, that was actually one of the places, the cracks areas where this policy cracked down on migrants and actually disqualified them from the process. Remember, asylum is also time sensitive. You have to file within a 1 year deadline or time frame of arriving in the US. Of course, there are exceptions, but generally. And then the U visas I was telling you is when you are a victim of a crime, you can get a green card that way. I'll come back again, guys, and we will discuss the U visa in detail because there are some crazy things that are happening. People call me and they're being swindled. People are undergoing immigration fraud. People promise them green cards and keep taking their monies under the guise of providing them with green cards. If that has happened and you are a victim, you would need to consult with an attorney because you may be entitled to a U visa. If you are the victim of a crime, of a qualifying crime, you can get a green card through that. You can get a U visa valid for a time frame, and then you can get a U visa, I think, is valid for 3 years, and then you can renew to get a green. I mean, you can apply to get a green card. So those are some of the things we'll be covering soon. But yeah, guys, we're just spilling the hot legal tea. We're just really happy and excited that former President Trump's no blank or rejection policy has been rejected too. That has been fired. It's gone. So now we're looking forward to a new administration who is going to be more human. They're going to have a more, they're going to be more gracious towards immigrants. And the other very interesting thing, guys, a lot of immigrants don't have English as their first language, and so they sometimes have a challenge, and they have a difficult time trying to fill out some of the forms and trying to reconcile the information and all of that. So this will help some of these people, and that's why I tell you, no pro se defense. Pro se defense is usually bad defense. Pro se means for yourself, defense by yourself. If you need an attorney, don't hesitate to call me. My number is right there on the screen, 240-801-7288. I've helped hundreds of immigrants like yourself, and this is what I do. This is what I do all day, every day. I'm just on it, just studying the laws and just changing lives and affecting people positively and helping them with my legal skills and my legal my legal qualifications. And so it doesn't matter where you're based in the US, just give me a call on my phone number. And also, it doesn't matter the type of US immigration problem you have. I will be very happy to walk you through and to help you. Schedule a call and schedule a consultation, and then I'll get you space on my calendar. I can't wait to speak with you. That will be my special time with you, and then I'm going to look at everything holistically. We're going to just dissect your issue and see where we need to attack and where we need to position you effectively for your green card approval. So guys, thank you so much for joining. Mio Torima says, oh wow, thanks. You're very welcome. You are very welcome. Guys, that's my website. Don't forget to also call me if you need my help. And yes, if you want to get space on my calendar, you have to, it's a paid consultation. I get hundreds and hundreds of inquiries every day from different people. And as I say, if I even had to select 15 people to give them free legal advice, that would be about almost 8 hours of my day gone just giving, talking and discussing people's legal issues with them. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do that. That's why I come your way and I try to give you as much legal information as possible so that hundreds of you can benefit from the legal knowledge that I'm sharing. And so if you want a one-on-one special time with me, please, you're going to have to, book a consultation and, pay a slot for that consultation. It's worth it. It's effective. It's so worth it. Something as important as a green card and as citizenship, please don't toy with it. You need somebody who's qualified, as an attorney to help you, and I am the right person. So guys, just give me a call if you have any problem and I'll be happy to speak with you. Well, this is the end of our live video. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so excited that we had this hot legal tea to spill. I hope you had fun, as I did. I had lots of fun, and I hope to come your way again soon. All right, guys, I wish you the very best of the day. Rosie Bell, I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining this live video. All right, people, we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.